Hey y'all, Miss B, and I ain't done content in a minute because everything is dark and gloomy these days, and I don't want to sit on here and talk about anything dark and gloomy. So I wanted to talk about something that was like very entertaining today. I got a good kiki, and it was Damon Dash on the Breakfast Club embarrassing the hell out of himself. He came up there and his preacher polyester suit that he said he made himself. He handed out albums. He had some girl that he's coining the new lesbian Aaliyah, which I didn't like at all. And honestly, it seems like he particularly came here trying to sun and get in, I guess, Envy's and Charlamagne's behind about stuff they were saying about him on the internet. I don't know. I guess stuff they said on the radio. He came in real high, real aggressive. Here's my books, here's my albums. And he was like, look, you trigger me. So Charlamagne, you trigger me when you overtalk me. Damon Dash, the way you made a fool of yourself, it was comedy. It was so how I chuckled. And then he kept calling Charlamagne gay and calling him a gay, and this is a gay job, and who would want to work here, and you want to work at this place, and I don't work for anybody. Dame, you have no money. You have nothing. You lost it all. I always sit back, and the reason I really wanted to talk about this because Jay-Z and Dame Dash were in business for a long time together. Reasonable Doubt, that's Jay-Z's first album. Dame Dash funded the Rockefeller label that they had together. They were in business for a long time, and they fell out. They had a hard breakup, ain't spoke up in years. And we know how Jay-Z moved. Like, once you're out forever. I guess, rest of your life. I just wonder, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall during some of those business meetings that Dame Dash possibly would have with Jay-Z, because the way Jay-Z has mastered business and has elevated himself to the status that people say he ain't a billionaire, he's a billionaire, he got more money than me, I'll say that. And the way Dame Dash looking on the Breakfast Club, trying to sell albums, books, trying to teach us about business. Nigga, why would we want to learn business from you? It was a whole bunch of word salad. It was a whole bunch of nothing. Charlamagne kept tagging his ass every second he kept calling him out. He's like, you're a hypocrite. It's hypocrisy. Your business fell. You're broke, Dame. That's the only reason why you're mad. You're broke. You're mad because we said you're broke. Then he wanted to hit Envy with, ain't you about to face a Rico? And I guess that triggered Envy, and he started getting spicy. Lauren and Jess could barely get one or two questions in because Dame was just having a whole entire I want to puff my chest out moment, but it didn't even land like that. It landed like you and a retired grandpa that needs to go have a seat. You said you was getting your new teeth. Go get your new teeth, Dame. Then this is like my second interview over the years watching Damon Dash be on a Breakfast Club and consistently allude of Jay-Z paying Charlamagne. Because he was like, you talk about Puffy, I heard you talk about, but you never say anything negative about Jay-Z. And then he was mentioning the clothes, the shirt or whatever that Charlamagne had on. Oh, and he was like, he either paying you because you never say nothing, or you just a fan, you just obsessed with him. Jay-Z seems so unbothered by Damon Dash, and Damon Dash seems to always be in everybody's internet, everybody's podcast, everywhere talking about Jay-Z and talking about the past. Let it go, Damon Dash. Your time is up. And how you came in there so hot and so like you was about to just sun the room. I think you wanted your Birdman moment. You know when we won't forget the legendary Birdman moment when he came to the Breakfast Club and was like, I don't want none of y'all say my name no more. All three of y'all. Are we finished or we done? I think Dame Dash came in on that energy and it didn't land. It didn't land at all. And he kept, I'm trying to educate. I wouldn't take business advice from you. None of your business. A valid nigga, you sitting here telling us you have liens on your accounts. You have no accounts. You owe $20 million. You had to file bankruptcy. Do you think I want to file? Oh, the black people don't know about filing bankruptcy. No, nigga, that's not the way I want to go in my life. No, I don't want to have liens on my accounts. And no, I do not want to file bankruptcy. I don't care if that is an out to a means or whatever you was trying to surmise to make it make sense for us to feel better about ourselves and call us dumb because we don't want to file bankruptcy. Baby, the fact that the Dame Dash can never do any interviews without talking about Jay-Z, he's so resentful. The fact too, I don't know if anybody clocked this. He was going talking about business and things like that, and he brought up the fact that, you know, if you get a loan for $180 million, that means people own you. Remember, like a couple months ago, don't know, sometime recently, we heard, it was rumors, scuttlebutt, don't know how true it was, that allegedly Jay-Z had took out a loan for $180 million. So every time he goes anywhere, he's looking and trying to pivot and make it about Jay-Z, and he kept calling Charlamagne gay like that was an insult. And I'm like, dang, this is 2025. Calling somebody gay doesn't, like, whoa, you called me gay. Charlamagne just kept saying I'm not gay. And then he kept threatening, I'll slap you. I was like, it was comedy for me. It was comedy for me. And you could just tell he's bitter. And he lost it all. He lost all his money, all his businesses. He owes child support. Charlamagne say, pay your child support. He owes everything. He wanted to tell us all these different stories, but he couldn't keep his thoughts straight. Then he kept telling them to have these boundaries about letting him finish his sentence and answer the questions directly, but he wouldn't answer any questions. He was all over the place. And then he was like, you know, you're not a masculine man. He was telling Charlamagne and Envy, y'all not masculine men because y'all do this and y'all do gossip. But Dame Dash, you on everybody's podcast gossiping. What's the difference? You were literally doing the same thing that you say they do on their show, on their platform. Doesn't make any sense to me. It was a lot of word salad coming out of Dame Dash's mouth. Nigga, you cannot tell me nothing about Ibra. Or I would not get any business advice from you. You have nothing tangible that I would want to aspire to be. Or have. You did in the past. And it's like you just blew it all up. You blew it all up. And nobody really, it's like, can somebody tell him to take his church suit, get his new teeth, and go sit down somewhere? It's over. The reign is over. Go back, go to obscurity or wherever you do, and all the things that you were saying. And also, Dame, what does a masculine man look like, huh? What does that look like? How do they act? How do they project? What do they do? Since you kept saying your pivot to insulting Charlamagne was he's not a masculine man and you don't like the way he represent black men and black people in front of white spaces. I don't give what people think in any other spaces. Charlamagne should have said that. But what is that, Dame? What does a masculine man look like in 2025? He can't be a disc jockey. He can't work on radio. He kept saying, oh, you've been sitting here for 15 years in a dark room. I'm sure what we see is just a small room, but they work for iHeartRadio. I'm sure that's a huge building that they're in probably some high skyscraper in the middle of New York City, Manhattan. I mean, come on now. Where are you sitting in, Dame? And then he want to pay this tit for tat. Show me your house, and then show me and I'll show you my house. But then Charlamagne kept saying, "You're broke. You're broke, Damon. Damon, you're broke. You have no money." And he brought I will say, the best part of the interview that wasn't entertaining, which is very serious. It gave me guns and butter. He brought a friend. I forgot the friend's name. The friend just recently lost his wife. My condolences. The friend was, I've been in New York several times. And the friend gave me that real hood street, Harlem, New York dude that gonna give you the business, guns, butter. And he really gave a word. The message was really clear. I liked what he said. but you couldn't really concentrate totally on what he was saying because Dame Dash was in the background doing a whole bunch of full of niggatry. It was just insane. It was just crazy. And I don't think this interview was going. I think he thought in his head his interview was going to land the way he wanted to, but it didn't. It came out and it was very entertaining. I chuckled. I need a good laugh. Everybody needs to laugh in this climate. That's why I haven't been doing no content, because everything's dark, doom, gloom, end of the world, and I don't care and I don't want to watch it. But that was a very funny interview, and I just want to understand, won't he just let the mouse go? Let it go, Dame. You're done. And stop comparing that girl to Aaliyah. I don't like that. I feel like that's very disrespectful if somebody is a very huge Aaliyah fan. What else he said on there? I think that was pretty much all I brought down, but his friend was the best part of the interview. Like I said, if you watch Baby Boy and you know that part that Melvin was trying to explain to Jody's dumbass and his friend Sweet Pea, and he was telling the niggas about guns and butter. That was the part of the interview that was the most interesting. Other than that, was a whole bunch of word salad from Dame Dash, and it was pretty funny. Like Charlamagne was tagging it as, and let me say something though. I don't always agree with Charlamagne. Like sometimes I be like, what? And you say what? And what? But you kept him calling Dame Dash calling him gay all the time did not faze him, and he kept tagging you with facts. You're broke. You're broke. Pay your child support. You filed bankruptcy. 50 Cent ball paid in full. Oh, one of my favorite movies too. Oh goodness, Dame couldn't take that. He couldn't take the broke. His ego's too fragile. He couldn't take it at all. He couldn't take the 50 Cent. 50 Cent didn't buy paid in full. I created a new paid in full. What, nigga? No, we don't want the new paid in full. I like the paid in full that's already out right now. That's been out for years. I'll go watch it tonight. Anyway, that was like my little Dame Dash recap interview, because I feel like it was so funny and we need some laughter these days. Like it didn't do the Birdman, all three of y'all. I'm finishing. I'm done. That you thought it was gonna be Dame Dash. Go sit down somewhere. Help your daughter. Your daughter was on the Next Gen Z, and they said she got evicted. I know you tried to say, oh, nobody said that she was in a 3-bedroom apartment in Tribeca. Okay, if she's not there anymore, that's irrelevant. Nobody cares if she did have a 3-bedroom apartment in Tribeca. Obviously, she couldn't afford it, and I don't think you can either. And you kept mentioning your ex-wife, Rachel Roy, and how you invested her company. Wasn't she Becky with the good hair? Anyway, that's my little recap on the Breakfast Club interview with Dame Dash, y'all. Just some light, fun, cute, funny. I laugh. I feel like I was in the movies. This nigga's a clown. Bye.